was like, yeah, being called racist probably is like the worst thing you could call an American.
I can think of another 6-letter word that might be a little bit worse.
I'll tell you this right now. I've been called something way worse.
I was about to say, let's go down the list of 6-letter words that are bad to call people. There's the F one.
Yep.
There's the R one.
Yep.
And there's the N one.
You got a few 5-letter words.
And I didn't even say racist yet.
That was the R word. What are you talking about?
Oh,
It was a joke, Miles.
I'm
Jesus.
sorry, I didn't know.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion, like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody, I fear nobody. I walk like a champion.
You know, this was a big week for sports. Like a lot has happened in the past
Oh
week,
my
and with
goodness,
that,
yes.
NBA Finals has been completed. And all I'm saying is
Oh my God,
I should have put money up
you should have.
because I really don't miss.
Yeah.
I was the only one on here to call the Lakers winning the whole thing way before. I was the only one to call them actually making the finals.
Yep.
And I called Lakers in 6. I don't miss.
Yeah, John, you did good. I can't even. I mean, you know, I'm disappointed. You know, because I had to shell out a couple $100 to a few people because the Lakers won. But
Shout out to the Lakers, man.
yeah,
Well deserved.
I really, yeah.
They did their thing.
LeBron is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just,
Dwight Howard got a ring.
yeah.
Rondo played out of his mind.
Yeah,
I did
in
not.
Game 6.
That was one thing I did not expect. I did not expect
Full playoff Rondo.
to go literally at the entire playoffs. Like, I did not expect. I thought that he was going to come back to earth, but no, his three. That was the thing that really stood out to me was his 3-point shooting, because we all know for Rondo's career he could not shoot past the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
So him, being a big, aspect in the 3-point shooting game was pretty key for them.
He was just doing everything, man. I mean, I said it was just. It seemed fake. It seemed rigged. A lot of people are still hating and talking about all LeBron's finals wins are rigged and all that shit. His greatness is undeniable. LeBron's greatness is undeniable. Look up the stats. Go check your numbers. Do whatever. His greatness is undeniable. He played great. If you think Anthony Davis deserved the MVP, I'm not gonna say he didn't have a great series, but if you think he deserved the MVP over LeBron, you don't know basketball.
Yeah, he had two really poor. He had two really poor performances,
and it was just it was dope to see like Rondo point like the whole team, and it's like as much as we said, and even like my mom was sitting here like, oh, the Lakers are stacked. Lakers are not stacked. The role players were not better than.
It's not a good team.
Yeah, their role players are not better than other teams' role players, but the role players stepped on and mattered. KCP had a really good series.
Yep.
That's one person I was not expecting to have.
Pistons
such a good
fans
series.
are livid of that because he wasn't doing jack.
He wasn't.
KCP wasn't doing much for the Lakers the past 2 years either.
Yep.
But he had a great series. Everyone like Alex Caruso did all the things we've been saying we needed him to do, man. And it's just funny because Kostas has a ring before Giannis.
Well, we
Dwight
did
got
call an Antetokounmpo winning a ring this year. So.
Dwight got a ring, and CP3 still don't got one. You know what I mean? Like it's but hey, Dwight deserved it. He had a great playoffs. Obviously wasn't used as much in this series, but it does. The one thing is that you really feel bad for the Heat, man, because they're a great team.
Yeah.
Like it.
I don't know
if I feel bad for them because
because of the injuries, man. If they were healthy and they lost, and you're like, all right, they came, they busted their ass. You don't want them to go out and get them blown out.
So I just want to say that I had a conversation with my friends, and this is like all credit to Jimmy Butler, who is obviously we're all fans of
Jimmy G buckets.
But I think the fact that they pushed the series to 6 with no Dragic basically most of the series, no Bam for 2 games of the series, even though they lost. Like you just at this point, like what more can you say about Jimmy Butler and like Eric Spoelstra and like everything that this Heat team has done?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's almost incredible. Like it's such a great story from a fan perspective. Thinking like, yo, you see a team that plays just great team basketball with a great leader, with great role players around him, like.
Busting their ass.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that is what's gonna get lost in this finals. And to me, like, I like, yes, LeBron got his fourth ring, third MVP on 3 different teams. I think that's fantastic. But Jimmy Butler doing what
MVP.
Well, I'm saying third. Well, three. Well, now he has 3 with 3 different teams. I'm saying so it's 4th in total. I think Jimmy Butler. We had this conversation last week about what. When you talk about legacy, like, does it do more for LeBron's legacy? Does it more for Jimmy's legacy? I think like now, just seeing it go the way that it did in hindsight, like
now Jimmy has a legacy.
Yeah, exactly. So and I think like looking back, I think a lot of that is gonna get lost with like regular NBA fans because nobody's gonna be like, wow, like Jimmy Butler, like because he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like for the people who really appreciate basketball and team basketball, it's like, yo, seeing a team like that beat all of the teams that they beat and then lose to LeBron in 6, it's like it's very, 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 very impressive to me.
40-point triple-double, and I don't think he had any 3-pointers that game.
He averaged close to a triple-double the entire season.
No, that's what I'm saying. But in that 40, the one game for being the only person ever outscore, out-rebound, out-assist LeBron, and I don't think he had any 3-pointers. And my thing is, it's like, it's tough for the Heat, even though they did overachieve. But it's just like you don't want to see him go out like that. You don't want to see him get blown out in the last game when Dragic could finally play and stuff like that, and have to deal with the injuries they had through the series. But the good thing is they've set a great foundation for themselves. They have, think about it, you had multiple rookies playing significant minutes and getting good production out of them throughout the series. And not only that, now they've shown themselves to be a free agent destination. People are going to want to go there because outside of Jimmy and Dragic, the rest of the core is young.
Yeah.
The rest of Bam is 23. Like the rest of the core is stupid. Bam is 23 and they have 3 rookies in the rotation. It's like now they are in a position to get better role players than Kelly Olynyk and Myers Leonard now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? People that can actually help them more. And then they're more attractive because now that stigma has gone away from Jimmy Butler. And, I can see them being a legit contender for the next couple of years, which is amazing. A better Eastern Conference is better for everyone.
It's good you said that because I'm thinking about it now, and I think not to say that this was their only shot to get to the finals, because they could get, if they get a key free agent acquisition next year.
They've shown they can beat the Bucks.
They can beat the Bucks. They can beat the Celtics. It's just the East is finally, I think, at a point, and it hasn't been like this for a long, long time, where we have more than one team that could come out the East, maybe one or
more
two.
than one team
teams
that actually win the championship.
Well, yeah right.
And we have 5. I think going into next year, and I think we talked about this last week too, is you have the Heat, right? Coming off of being in the NBA Finals. The Bucks are going to be back, obviously. The Celtics, the Nets, right?
Those are the real contenders.
Those are the real.
Yes.
All right, so you got 4 4 teams that you could think, all right, they could be in the NBA Finals. Then you have teams that will be around, like you could see going into the second round, even the conference finals, right? The Raptors, you can't write them off. They proved this year that they don't even need Kawhi to get back to relevance, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the Sixers
do, and I know, it's I know the Doc Rivers thing. Yes, John, we get it. But at the end of the day,
oh brother, this guy stinks.
But is it so far fetched
big
to
cut.
think that they won't win close to 50 games in the regular season and
Marvin
still
Lewis
be
to
there?
the shit.
Exactly. They'll be around,
Yeah.
right? The Pacers, depending on what they do, if Oladipo decides to come back, I've heard some trade rumors.
He's not a free agent this year. He's
No,
a free
no.
agent
Trade-
after.
Well,
trade
if they
rumors,
decide
trade
to bring out
rumors.
Oladipo back, because I've heard him in trade rumors before, what they decide to do,
Mavericks.
So and then you might get an upstart team. Maybe the Hawks figured out, or maybe the Magic finally get that key piece. Like
Maybe the Hawks make a trade and become a
exactly
real
right.
thing, yeah.
So the East is pretty good. Like I would say 1 through 8, some solid teams. Not as good as the West, but it's still really solid.
It's not just incredibly top heavy anymore.
So I think with the Heat, it'll be very interesting. I think they do like this. This is a magical run. They can't replicate this next year to the East. They can't. They're going to need that key free agent piece. But what is that key free agent piece?
I don't know. I don't think Dragic comes back.
I think they bring him back on a small, maybe like a 1 or 2 year.
I feel like I don't think Dragic gonna chase the bread. I feel like he's gotten those opportunities throughout his whole career. So
He wants to be like. That's
I
why
think
he
he
hurt
is,
so
right.
much to
But-
you know.
And this is honestly, I don't really want, but like they've been talking about him being on the Mavs since the beginning of when the
Dragic?
trade almost happened. They thought we were getting Dragic because that's Luka's guy, that's his mentor. So that's a thing. And also, like, I don't see him chasing the bread either. But if Miami has to choose between paying some key free agents and paying Dragic, or just finding space for Dragic, especially with all that young talent and most of it being at the guard position.
But here's where the
It's a
importance of
tough decision.
Dragic comes, right? Even if because I'd heard rumors about them trying to get, or even back before earlier in the year, them trying to get Chris Paul to Miami, but I think the cap was something crazy. If they were hypothetically to get Chris Paul to Miami, I think Dragic stays. And he fills a very important role, which we saw was a glaring deficiency for the Heat all through the playoffs, the backup point guard role.
Yeah.
Because they don't have an actual point guard
A creator,
that could come off the bench. Like Kendrick Nunn can't facilitate.
scoring
Right.
guard.
Tyler Herro can't facilitate. He scores.
Score.
Duncan Robinson scores. So there was nobody to really at that guard position. And Jimmy doesn't came off the court.
I think you see it more. It's crazy because I think in Game 5 you see that the most. And the crazy thing is in Game 5, Eric Spoelstra only went 7 deep into his bench. So I think the only people that came off the bench was Olynyk and Kendrick Nunn.
I don't think he really played Olynyk that game.
I don't
No,
think
it
Olynyk
wasn't
didn't even play five,
No. Olynyk didn't play in Game 5. It was Kendrick Nunn and who else fucking came off the bench? Why am I blanking?
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, that it's crazy.
Which is wild to think that he wouldn't play the big guys. And it's weird because
I don't think Kelly Olynyk needed more time. I honestly would have played Myers Leonard. I legit would have played Myers Leonard instead of Olynyk because I think Myers Leonard would have I just think Olynyk's effort is not there defensively and rebounding at all. I think Myers Leonard would have tried a lot harder, and he can give you some floor spacing, not the same as Olynyk. Olynyk's a way better offensive player, but I think I would have put Myers Leonard out there a little bit and see what I got from him.
just for the
also Solomon
for
Hill,
physicality aspect.
Solomon Hill's, and that's someone who's played against Anthony Davis in practice.
Yep.
They were on the Pelicans together.
Mountain Man. Oh my god.
Yeah, he looked homeless, dog.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about Jimmy. I'm
Nasty.
like, yo, have y'all not seen Solomon Hill?
Yeah, he looked wild. But I would have had him there. It's another stretch 4. And when he was in, I think in Game 2 they were playing him some. He was like working hard against Anthony Davis to box out and shit like that. I those are 2 surprising pieces. But Spoelstra's a great coach. I'm not going to question him.
I'm about to say, Spoelstra. I think if anything, like this does more for Spoelstra and Jimmy than I think it does LeBron. Like I mean, at this point, like people already we're saying that LeBron is the greatest player of all time. Now I think that argument is definitely strengthened. Regardless of what you
They
or
said he
anybody
couldn't do
else
it in the
think.
West.
And and he did it in the West. I think next year is going to be very interesting though, because I think it's going to be
It's going to be
interesting.
even stronger.
It's going to be I'm just saying, like everybody should be at full strength. I mean, whatever that means, take it as what you must. But I mean, the Lakers have to improve too. I think because this is the thing is that this is why I wasn't a believer, because they literally did not have the pieces around them to do what they needed to do. People stepped up this series. Yes, I think that was key. KCP coming up clutch. Rondo definitely coming up clutch. And I'm blanking. Not bum ass Danny Green, who was getting terrorized on social media the other day. Caruso probably you could say as well stepped up, right?
Bro, Danny Green decided to get a crosshair tattoo on his right elbow this year. Danny Green never had tons of tattoos before this season.
Yeah.
He got this crosshair on his elbow.
Hey, that $50 million gets you a lot of VC.
And just bricking. That was it. He was like, yo, I'm a sniper. Let me get this shit on my arm.
Yeah.
And just bricked all fucking playoffs.
Hey, it's kind of hard to like, but then like he was getting killed. Like it was actually kind of sad to see like just how like
it seemed like he dropped off a cliff this
year. And it was kind of the same as like the Paul, like almost in a sense the Paul George like thing where it's like, all right, he's performed before, right? And Danny Green has hit big shots in championship games before. He's an NBA champion. But to see him fall off the cliff like this, and then just, all right, it's one thing to just make, small jokes on social media, but like the vitriol, like it was even from like,
but
the
there's
so-called
weirdos
Laker
though.
fans that I'm just like, yo, like, especially after the, was it Game 4 where he missed the
Game
or was it
5.
Game 5 where he missed the wide open. I'm like, bro, basketball is it's a make or miss league. You either make the shot or you miss it.
My thing is he's been breaking all series, so shit.
That's like, but he's been due, and he hit some shots in Game 6. You know,
just not at the level we expect from him.
Yeah,
and I think it's a little. I understand the principle of what you're saying comparing to Paul George. It's a little bit different because the expectations are a lot lower. But
I meant more so like the social media.
Oh, exactly.
Like, thing.
But no, man, it's. I've been calling it from before. I didn't think Danny Green deserved minutes because of how he hasn't played like that.
Yep.
So,
But just bottom line, the Lakers are going to need a better third scoring option, a reliable third scoring option.
well, Avery Bradley might be there.
Well, yeah.
And he was it for them during the season.
And yeah.
So before everything with the bubble, if Avery Bradley was there, this team is better. If Avery Bradley was there, I think people aren't looking at, like, we're not looking at the Lakers as they have been.
First of all,
Because then you have Avery Bradley and playoff Rondo.
Yep.
are we gonna? I think we can all agree, and Laker fans got to be truthful about this. Entering the bubble or heading into the bubble, all right? There's no way they thought that these role players were going to be playing
And
like this.
and I think that's a fair
It's fair.
assumption.
Like it's whole like, oh, everybody doubted us. It's like, no, y'all were doubting yourselves because I follow a lot of Laker fans.
Mm-hmm.
They were vehemently like, you can't play Rondo. Like throughout some of these playoff series, you can't play Rondo. You can't play him. Oh my gosh. Oh, you can't play Kuzma. You can't. Now it's Rondo.
Next year's a very big year for Kyle Kuzma.
bro.
Next year's
this
a very
we talk
big
about Gary
year for Kyle
Sanchez
Kuzma.
underperforming. Kuzma he hit some shots this series, but it's not like
he was also on a short leash.
I mean, because
But, yeah.
he kind of had. It's almost
exactly.
It's almost like the Michael Porter Jr. type thing. Like, yo, if you're gonna give me some good things, you can't be detrimental.
You know, I saw a tweet that was talking about this, and they're like, Twitter will have you believe Kyle Kuzma is better on offense than he actually is, and is worse on defense than he actually is. I will say, in the limited minutes that I've seen, I'm not going to say he's a great defender, but
I
a
think
lot
he's
of
a solid
defense,
defender.
a lot of
He's solid.
defense,
Yeah, he's
and a lot
solid.
of defense is effort,
Yeah.
and he was
He gives you
really
effort.
trying
He gives you effort.
on defense. But it was, I feel like it's someone that you expect to be more offensively consistent, and that was the issue. So I think next year's a huge year for Kyle Kuzma, man.
like,
But
and Lakers can't run this. They can't run the same team back if they want to compete like
Rondo,
that.
you're older. Dwight, you're older.
You got like
You gotta-
JaVale
Yeah.
might be maybe back, may not be. You know, it's
Shout out to Dwight, man. I'm happy for him because now,
kind of comes full circle too. With
yeah,
him.
and people, and he said like that tweet showing back up where he was like, "I'm sorry, like Laker Nation. I hope we can,
make it back up
Yeah.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's big, and he's someone that like that's been things on is Dwight Hall of Fame. Dwight is definitely Hall of Fame caliber, and this
He
is
was
people
even if
he
Dwight
was
didn't
before
win the ring, he was
yeah,
Hall of
but
Fame.
now this is like
It cements
this
it.
helps. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
better than Paul Pierce, and he was better than Paul Pierce before the ring.
Oh, I mean, he was.
Now I can pull up the Carfax.
Well, you know, there
I
was.
mean, well, you got the defensive player of the year was.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
say
it's
at no
tough.
point
Yeah,
was
you
Paul
know.
Pierce ever top 5 in the league. Dwight was
Pierce
top
has-
5 for like 4
Yeah,
straight.
Paul
years.
Pierce
you're
has
right.
one first team. Dwight has 5. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think Paul Pierce even has one first team.
I thought he did.
No, I
Didn't
think it's
we
one
come through
first
with
team.
it? If
It's a
John,
couple-
if anything, John knows because he's
He
gonna
doesn't-
say
nah,
these facts. to people.
Paul Pierce doesn't have a first team. We can. I know that for an absolute.
Oh,
fact.
so then it's
it's like 2
2/3.
seconds in like.
I think it's 2/3 in a second.
something like that. Yeah, it's not. He doesn't have a first team.
Sheesh.
Treesh.
And but
Jared, who the fuck let Jared Dudley get a ring? Like, come on.
let's
yo.
go.
Nah, Jared
Let's
Dudley's-
go.
that's that guy, bro.
Jared Dudley, baby.
Jared Dudley is low key mad
Elmer
cool.
Fudd. Let's go.
He's been playing in Puma since before it was cool.
Bro, Jared Dudley, first of all, I feel like everybody forgets. Jared Dudley was a bucket at Boston College.
Yeah.
Yo, he was a bucket.
Jared Dudley, nice, bro.
Hey man,
funny.
look, and he, you know what it is? He's one of those vets that every team needs.
Yeah.
He's like a Udonis Haslam.
He literally
You
said
know.
that in Road Tripping when he was talking about it. And he was like, "I'm getting the opportunity." And he was like, knowing that LeBron wants you to be on your team. He's like, "I've been trying to play with LeBron for a while because I thought he'd fit." And he was like, "Now I got that call." And he was like, "They talked like about that, about the importance of those vets, even at the end of the career, what they do to a locker room. The Jared Dudleys, the Channing Frys, the Richard Jeffersons, like people like that,
Like,
the Udonis Haslams.
that's
Like,
what I
they're
missed
important.
about him from the Nets team that
Mhm.
you know got to the playoffs with D'Angelo Russell and them. That's what I missed. Like Jared Dudley, like even though he did play
The ones that settle you and keep
Yep.
you together, settle your young
keep
guys.
the locker room together, like so it's good
That's
for them.
important, man.
Although, all right, here's I guess this is probably our last talk on basketball, at least for a while now. It sucks, but
Man,
is it?
But we don't know when the season's going to start.
That's true.
I mean, it might be a very short offseason.
Apparently, the draft in a few weeks. Right?
They're letting them talk to prospects now. So,
All right,
I mean, we'll
but
see. I'm anticipating Christmas.
what do you guys think about the? I don't know how to exactly word this,
no.
but
Justin's struggling for words. This is wild.
Yeah, no, this has never happened.
I know, right? But the Kobe Bryant, I guess, not comparisons, but like I don't know, something about how people or certain people are going about it is kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I get that. My thing is
what do you mean, JT?
comparing LeBron.
No, not comparing LeBron to Kobe, but it was just like this almost like it was destiny. I feel like the Lakers did this for like the memory of Kobe
Well,
in a sense, and it's like it almost makes it. I don't know. It kind of just felt like Kobe Bryant is only for Laker fans.
All right. Well, I'll say this. That's one of the things that I felt. It just seemed almost too perfect. It seems fake. The story seems fake. Where
It's the perfect
Kobe dies.
story.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it is. And I absolutely do believe that Kobe was something that pushed them and kind of could be like a rallying cry for the entire organization as expected, because you can't think of Kobe without thinking about the Lakers and vice versa.
Yep.
But I think with that, I do get that where it's like it feels like Kobe, where they're like, oh, like you said, like Kobe is just for them when he's not. It's the same reason why after Kobe passed, Dame Lillard wilded out against the Lakers and won.
And then Rich Nichols asked the question, "Do you feel bad that you did this on the day after Kobe died or whatever?"
And he was like, "No, Kobe is what Kobe would want." And it's things like that because it's like it's knowing who Kobe was, but you have like at the end of the day, he's the guy for Lakers.
Yeah,
fans.
he's Mr. Laker.
So I see both sides to it, but I'm not. Lakers fans aren't right for being like, oh, like he's just for us. He's not. Kobe is for basketball. Kobe's for everyone.
That's the thing.
But they have first claim.
Like
I'm about to say if
anyone could do it. It's
but
them.
like if the Heat, like let's say Jimmy like pulled off the impossible, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And does that mean like is he disrespecting Kobe's legacy? And
Oh,
are
no,
the
not at all.
Lakers
Absolutely not.
If he
disrespecting
pulled off the
Kobe
impossible,
because they
Kobe would
lost?
love that shit.
Because that's the thing is that like Kobe is bigger than the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, yes, he was a Laker for life, but at the same time, Kobe has had influence on numerous basketball players, not
Did y'all
just.
Did y'all see this shit that came out with the Thunder?
Nah.
Where I saw this thing. I don't know if it's true or not. We gotta fact check it. But it was a thing where they were like during Team USA, Kobe used to tell Russ that he could lead the team in scoring over KD in hopes of like creating a rift so the Thunder would fall apart. I don't know how accurate it is, but you could definitely see. You could be like, yeah, Russ, yo, you're just as good as KD, bro. Like,
Bro, that's hilarious.
you could see that shit though.
Oh my god,
dude, this is the dude who called Dirk in free agency. Like, come on.
That's funny.
that's funny as shit. Yeah, Kobe. Yeah, man, Kobe's a different breed if that's actually facts. But I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either, man.
But it's like, like if the Lakers would have lost, would that have been disrespectful to Kobe's?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Legacy,
Not at all.
Because like I said, it's all like, like I feel like no team should be obliged to feel like, they have to do it for Kobe, especially the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, when you're such a iconic figure that's bigger than the team itself, it's like, shit. Giannis probably felt bad, like, damn, like I fucked up, like when he lost, like, damn, this was supposed to be for Kobe and I fucked up. Like, I feel it's the same thing.
They've
like,
asked multiple players on multiple teams about this.
yeah,
So
exactly, so I don't know.
if they lost, like Kobe, it's as much as he wants to win. I'm not going to say you're not like Kobe just care about winning and losing, but Kobe is about competitiveness.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. He would be pissed that they lost, but he would be like, the Heat did everything in their power. Like the Heat deserved that shit. Because unless the Lakers completely came out and laid an egg, and if the Heat won, they would have had to fight, like really bust their ass to win. So at the end of the day, he would have respected it regardless. And man, RIP Kobe. It's really like still like I was really thinking about it when like they won and shit, and it's like, damn man, you really wish
It's the crazy thing. That shit really happened this year. It feels like
years, man, fucking ridiculous.
It feels far away but close at the same time. Like
Yeah,
it
it does- it still
just
doesn't
happened,
feel-
but it feels dumb far. But yeah, now LeBron 4-time. Now he's tied with Sue Bird.
Hey,
Four-time
Super from
champ.
Syasa. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's what we tried to.
Yeah,
that's
we
what
said
we told
that
you last week.
Yeah.
Shit, I did, JT.
Yeah, when I said she went to Christ the King,
Yeah, he said that.
he don't remember.
I remember you saying Christ the King,
You were
but
right
just
there in
never
that chair.
processed.
Yep, right next to me. I remember you were here.
I remember you saying Christ the King too.
So that's why I don't know why people keep saying LeBron trying to catch Michael. He trying to catch. He finally caught up to Sue Bird. Like,
Yeah, I know. He got some work to do first.
right? But
Hey, man. Nah, but you gotta give LeBron his credit, man.
you have to.
I don't. All right, but
God,
one thing
still-
though,
it's still fuck Bron stands though.
yes.
Bron
It's always
says
LeBron.
today,
Yeah,
tomorrow,
we
for the
not
rest
we
of
not
the
feeling
term.
LeBron sexuals.
And it's sharp.
Brought a
Yo,
gold
nigga
on
Is
brought a
a
goat.
clown.
coonery.
There's powerful niggatry here.
Powerful niggatry in the building. Nah, but I don't like. All right, I just want to say, bro. Like, I just don't like the whole fact of like, and I'm not critical of LeBron at all as a person, But when he said that, like, yo, he just wants his damn respect, I'm like, dog, you gotta be shitting me, dog.
Yo, my dad said the same thing.
Okay, so
And
I'm
I was
not.
like-
All right, listen, I know you be disagreeing with your pops a lot, so you might feel differently than
Oh,
what I'm about to say.
I was confused too. I'm like, who is he talking to? The internet trolls? Because I feel like everybody that actually knows basketball.
No,
bro,
the media has given LeBron a lot of shit. We've talked about this,
Bro,
Bro,
but
we
yeah.
haven't talked about it.
No, that's why I said that's why I said the internet.
Bro,
But that's
it's not
what- but
just.
that's-
But
but
you
bro,
can't. It's not just the internet.
when you're
trolls.
a three-time NBA championship, three MVPs at this point, bro, like you don't got shit to prove to anybody. Like you, like what? Like I don't understand. Like if
It's the
you,
same reason why KD has a burner
and
account.
and okay, but KD and LeBron are two different people. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, if you're not willing to accept LeBron James' greatness, you're a hater or Skip Bayless. Like it's that to me, it's that simple. Because LeBron, while I may acknowledge, like I can acknowledge that Jordan is the greatest player of all time, and yes, I still feel that way. You know, I can also say that LeBron is great at everything he does on and off the court. Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
Okay,
You know,
you're right.
You know, you can agree with both, and whether or not you feel like LeBron is the GOAT, that's cool. And I think you can make an argument, especially now, as to why. So I just don't understand. Like, you know, I get it. Like,
I like when people talk their shit.
LeBron want his damn respect, but bro, like
But
most
it's
of
like-
the niggas, like I don't know.
Yeah,
The-
I get
my-
it. Like, you wanted to talk their shit, but that'd be like Pat Mahomes going on the podium last year. For,
No, you want
and be
to know
like,
why it's not? Because Pat Mahomes doesn't catch as much heat if they don't win
So
as
would-
LeBron does,
So would it
and
be
that's
like
the
Aaron
thing.
Rodgers then? If Rodgers wins the Super Bowl this year, he'd be like, I want my damn respect.
Yes, because at the end of the day, well, one, basketball and football,
Two different sports.
Two different
completely.
sports. I
It's
get
the
it.
same thing
but
where it's
but in terms of legacy,
yeah,
though, and
but
criticism.
to me, that thing is like when Reddit Mavericks asked, "What's worse, losing to the Giants or the Knicks?" And it's always the Giants because it's a team sport. In the NBA, anyone can have a day. But besides the point, it's just we can't talk about it, and I can understand the frustration because as great as LeBron is, one, he's still human. Two, we've literally talked about how other people don't get as much smoke as LeBron gets, whether his team wins or loses. We've talked about how Kawhi needs to get that and didn't before. We've talked about how Giannis wasn't getting it and needed to when they lost. Things like that. So if this is someone who I feel like the only person who would even come close to getting that level would be Kevin Durant, and he hasn't yet. Because when he was on the Thunder, people were still blaming Russ when it was the two of them. Then he went to the Warriors and never had that issue. And then now he would be in an opportunity with the Nets, and people would probably still blame Kyrie instead of him. So my thing is, no one's really had that where it's everything has been on them, whether the team wins or loses.
Yeah.
And when the team wins, and it's like, this is one thing Shannon Sharp's talking about, how his greatness has made us feel that other shit just isn't that good. Like he's talking about, he basically was had a 22-point triple-double, and people have you think that's bad because it's LeBron James.
Yep.
So that's my thing where he's talking about I want my damn respect in the sense of that no one else was until this playoffs, other stars were not getting the smoke that LeBron was, and it didn't happen until this playoffs because people started calling it out. People were sitting like, y'all need to come at Kawhi for the shit. Y'all need
But
to
is
come
it
in Giannis
because-
for the shit.
But it's so much different when you win at first and then you lose, because the narrative is different. LeBron's narrative from when he was on the Cavs, he was losing on the Cavs, went to the Heat, made this whole big thing about how not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. And once again, it's not me being critical of LeBron. This is just me calling how it is. It's like when you set those expectations as high as you do, everything you do is a target on your back. That's why the Jordan stands that's going to argue why Jordan is better. And they'll bring up the 2011 finals for that exact reason, because they'll be like, nah, bro, you see how much he flopped? That's why every time people argue like that GOAT debate, they always go back to that. Because they're like, all right, well, he set this expectation, and what did he do when the pressure was on him at the most? He folded. You know what I'm saying? And when you set those expectations as high as you do, that's why the narratives are created the way that they are.
I also feel like the only player, I feel like there hasn't been a player that has been like that. There's no player that's come in with expectations like that.
And that's-
outside of him,
There's
the
only-
only other
There's
person.
only two people that could ever. There's only two people that have ever lived up to what they were supposed to be. It was, and even Jordan didn't have that expectation
Yeah,
as LeBron. But LeBron came in with those big expectations, so He's lived up to it and then some. Right?
The only other person who has expectations in the league who I could say since Jordan, it's LeBron and motherfucking Zion. No one else has come in to the league and been like, this is literally the chosen
golden
one.
child. This
is the
one.
next. This is the next one. This is the next greatest of the generation. No one has come in like. Not even Kevin Durant came in like that.
Nope.
Yep. That's
No
right.
one has come in like that before. So as much as he set the expectation, it hasn't just been him. You got to think he was still a kid when he went to Miami. He came in out of high school. He was young.
Yeah.
And part of the reason, and my dad was talking about it, where it's like he became a man in Miami.
Yeah.
He learned what it meant to win, what it took to become a championship, and he talked about it in a speech where he was like, he's doing that for Anthony Davis.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
he is. Like that's a real thing. But I understand what you're saying, where it's like he put that expectation on himself and said it in his own words. But it's at the end of the day, I'm not gonna excuse him by saying he didn't know better.
Yeah.
But it's like there hasn't been anyone before him.
Yeah,
Because
that's it.
even
And that's
Jordan
fair.
didn't come in with those expectations.
And that's fair.
No one has come into the league. Like you can't name one person who's come to the league like this is gonna be the next guy. It's literally been Jordan and Zion. And we don't even know if Zion's going to be able to do that to the extent.
He won't.
I
He
honestly
can't.
think the person who'll become closest to LeBron's career is Luka.
I'm about to say let's slow our roll on that because it's only been a season on one,
Yeah,
and
but
2
he's
seasons
had
on the other.
But he's had the Zion's
Yeah.
had the expectations.
Yes, he's had the expectations. But
That's what I'm
let's
talking
not
about.
say that he can't yet because I
Yeah.
feel like these expectations don't come out the blue. But just my last point on LeBron, and just going off of, and just tying this whole thing together. Basically, shit. What was I gonna say? Y'all niggas made me blank out.
Yeah, I went on a mini rant there.
Yeah, you did. You did. I mean, I went on a
John,
mini.
not
I
y'all.
went on a mini rant as well. But yeah, bro. At the end of the day, LeBron, you have our damn respect. You got my damn respect. You've been have my damn respect. Listen, and I don't think you have anything to prove to anyone.
But I will say, comment sections are full of people just drag.
Comment sections are stupid.
Oh, of course, I know.
see our comment section.
I'm
Yeah,
about
I
to
know.
say.
But like it's really like to me, it's you. We talk about it as much as like trolls, but like when you really see it, you're like, there's people really out here who genuinely think every NBA Finals is rigged
John.
and everything is super rigged, and it's just so.
I give you a
wild.
perfect example. I'm literally
It's the sport equivalent of Trump supporters, where they're so irrational that where it's like you can't even argue with them.
Yo, that
I'm
is
scrolling
wild.
Twitter and I see a basketball account, and it said, "Oh yeah, the Jimmy Butler's Eastern Conference Finals trophy means more than Kevin Durant's Finals MVP." And I'm just sitting there like, "What are you talking about? Like how can you troll? How can you possibly troll like this? It makes no sense." Kevin Durant went into the NBA Finals with not only LeBron James and Steph Curry, arguably the two great, going down as two of the greater players of our generation. Steph was coming off of the
Second MVP.
second MVP, right?
Unanimous one.
The unanimous one, and he outplayed both of them. But somehow, the Heat collective team Eastern Conference Finals trophy means more than Kevin Durant's like 35
And
points.
Jimmy wasn't even the best player in the Eastern Conference Finals. Bam was.
I'm telling you, trolling is crazy.
Like I said, it's,
People don't
and
know
that-
sports, though.
and that's the thing. It's like that's why people see our headlines on YouTube and then they make comments. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even watch the videos because if y'all listen to what we're talking about, I'm not saying we're the smartest people in the world, but
I'm
we
damn
make
sure not
sense.
the smartest.
But we damn sure make sense.
Tell you what, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're not the
Listen.
beta male view for a reason.
Facts. Listen,
My favorite
I'll
comment
always-
of the week, by the way.
Fact. I always say this. I have no issue being proven wrong.
Oh yeah,
As much
Yeah.
as I say shit with my whole chest, but I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. I'm not gonna say something with my whole chest and like it just be baseless.
I'm basing
and when
I base my opinions off of facts
And when
what I
when
see.
it is baseless, I say it's baseless.
Yep.
But generally, it's not baseless. And if y'all can, I have no issue being proven wrong. I said the same shit with D'Angelo Russell, which I thought I was being proven wrong. Jury's still out.
Jury's still out. I feel
And-
bad for that young man though.
But
He
if
getting a
you
bad
can
deal.
listen, if you can prove me wrong. But it's not gonna be easy. And yeah, that's pretty much it from us over here at Regrown Recordings. As always, remember to follow us at Saratobi Sports on Instagram and Twitter. Like us on Facebook if you guys are still on Facebook, and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me at Infinite Novel on Twitter. And yeah, guys.
Talk less, smile more. Don't let them know what you're against and what you're for.
That ended up being terrible advice, by the way.
Yeah, it did. You want to get ahead? Fools who run their mouths will end up dead. Black Lives Matter.
That was quite the show exit.
Did you
Yeah,
get the reference?
He didn't. He never
You
saw
didn't
it.
get the reference?
He never saw it.
Oh damn!
He never saw it.
didn't see it. Wasn't paying attention. Didn't care.
You should see it. It's
Don't
phenomenal.
care. Didn't ask. Plus, you're black. Yeah. So later, everybody. You can follow me on the Instagrams. Sorry, the Twitters. J_Thomas_24. Black Lives Matter. And the haters in the comments. Hey, man. It is what it is.
Facts.
I look forward to
Engagement is
looking. I
engagement.
look forward to looking at your podcast. So yeah.
And just remember, we don't do this just for listeners. We do this because this shit is fun.
Right? Like this is all jokes, honestly. Like
Hey man, if you like us though, go argue with the hate comments on our YouTube videos.
fight for us.
Hey,
Fight
hey,
for your
hey,
king.
Hey.
Die for your country.
Like Bodega Boys die for the hive.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, we'll catch y'all next week.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion, like a champion.